Hi, everyone. My name is Nick Taylor. I'm one of the Associate Directors of Undergraduate Admissions at Saginaw Valley State University. I want to just take the quick time here to thank you for joining me. I'm going to give a short presentation about SVSU in general and what are some of the top reasons that students tell us that they want to attend SVSU. All of this research comes from our students, so this isn't me going around saying, oh, what do I think is important? It's coming from our students, and we survey those students to see what are the top 5 factors that make their decision and what makes them successful at SVSU. Now, before we begin, I'm going to remind you that this presentation here is for current high school students who are looking to join a university here in the future. If you're a transfer student or already have college credit in some other way, a degree maybe, we have other presentations for that. So you might want to check those out a little bit later. All right, now that we got the right spot, let me share my screen here so that everybody can see what I'm talking about. So here at SVSU, we're really fortunate. We talk a lot about SVSU and what we can do to share with our students. But before we begin, I got to talk a little bit about just what's the feeling? What's it like at SVSU? What are the people like? Well, I got to tell you, we're really proud of our students. And for SVSU, you really have to think about the students, the faculty, and the staff. We're the people who are not afraid to do the hard work in order to be successful. We love to celebrate your success as a student, and that's really important. We're going to be there to help along the way. So we talk about being game changers, go-getters, the hard workers, all those things. What the spirit of SVSU really is about is for us to celebrate, provide the opportunity, and to help along the way so that you can be as successful as you want to be. That's a big deal for us, and that's something that you're going to see over and over again when you come to SVSU and you actually take a look at the classes and the different programs that we offer, as well as a lot of the extracurricular things, the things that maybe you don't quite think about when you think about college, advising, right? All of those are things that our students know that SVSU, we're putting our best foot forward to show you the opportunity, to guide you along the experience, and we're going to be there at the end to celebrate your success. That's really important to us. Now, you may or may not know, but SVSU sits at the heart of the Great Lakes Bay region. We're the midway point between Midland, Saginaw, and Bay City, which gives our students a lot of opportunity. Not just for the fun stuff, although I like the fun stuff, I got to admit, but also for things in your career path. You know, if you're going into certain career paths, it's nice to know that we have 3 major areas that we can kind of call upon the community for our students to get involved in. Sitting at the heart of the Great Lakes Bay region is really important for us. We want to, A, represent the region very well, but B, also be a contributing factor to the region. I really encourage you, if you get the opportunity, as you go through your college selection process, come and check out SVSU, but not just SVSU, but check out our region. We're proud to be a part of the Great Lakes Bay region and in all of the different things it has to offer. It's a great place to live. So let's talk more about these top reasons. Again, I mentioned at the very beginning that for our students, we wanted to go through and figure out what was attracting them to SVSU. Well, we came up with our top 5 reasons, and I want to go through those kind of in descending order. Number 5, it was the programs. We're really fortunate. We have over 100 different undergraduate and graduate programs for our students to take part in. Not only was it the programs though, but it was kind of what were some of the outcomes for these programs. You know, we have we actually have the largest BSN program in the state of Michigan, as well as the largest BSW program. These are really popular programs at SVSU, but also our students are really competitive. It goes back to that fact, the fact that we want you to work hard and be successful. Well, we're competitive at SVSU. And here's just a couple of them. We have a top 20 undergraduate, well, the top undergraduate moot court program and a top 20 program in the nation. Our business school, for example, is accredited by AACSB. That puts us in the top 5% of all colleges of business in the nation. There are lots of examples in that. So when you kind of figure out what it is you want to study, one of the things that we want you to do is we want you to reach out to us and talk to the experts. We offer an svsu.edu/ask the experts page. That Ask the Experts page will actually point you in the direction of the people in the field, and they can talk about how competitive they are. It's one thing that we know we've got the program for you. We also have the staff and the faculty that are there to help you be successful in that program. So students have always told us that our programs are number one. That's one of the biggest reasons that they choose SVSU. Another reason actually has to deal with the small class size. We're really fortunate. SVSU has always operated under the fact that we know that in-classroom experience, that time with the expert, I just mentioned experts, right? That time with the expert is really important. So we're really fortunate. Our students right now, currently, we have an average class size of 21. Now, that's very different than a stat that a lot of colleges use, and I want to point this out because I think this is really important. A lot of schools will come and talk about they'll talk about their student to teacher or student to professor ratio. Okay, that's a stat. We can track that. We all track that, and we know what's going on. But it doesn't tell you about the actual class size. They're taking a look at all the different professors that might be working under their umbrella of the university and comparing it to the total number of students. Well, at a lot of universities, the faculty don't teach. They do research, they write for grants, they do all sorts of other things. That's important work, but it's not teaching. Here, we want you to know what the average class size is. Our average class size, again, is 21 students. We have no graduate assistants or teaching assistants teaching any course. So when you're sitting in any one course here at SVSU, you're learning from the expert. And that's really important. That average goes from your freshman year to your senior year. It doesn't include any of the graduate work either. It's another trick schools like to throw in there with that class size. So it's important. We're really, really focused on what's happening in the class and making sure that we're giving you real world and relevant experience, current relevant experience, so that you get a chance to be the best in your field. And you're learning from the experts. Number 3, our students always talk about the facility itself, but most importantly, the dorms. I hate to admit it. I consider myself a pretty successful guy. I've been in admissions for quite some time. I'm mid-level. I'm sitting here in my family man cave downstairs recording this. But I got to tell you, students have it better than I. Our dorms right now are ranked number 1 in the nation for public schools our size. And that's based on a couple different criteria. That's based from a research group called NICHE, N-I-C-H-E. You can look them up and see those rankings. But that's based on a couple different things. It's based on the types of dorms we offer, the amenities, the air conditioning, the heat. Air conditioning is important in certain times of the year. The heating, just the space that's out there, all the things that you have, the size of the bathrooms, right? Can be important. But it's also based on the types of activities and things that we offer our students, okay? So we know that our students coming to SVSU are really happy and they are really engaged with the campus community. If you're engaged with the campus community, you're enjoying your residential experience, you're going to be more successful. So we put resources towards this, and that's why we can claim, and we're very proud of the fact that our students have told us that we're number 1 in the nation. That all came from student satisfaction surveys. That wasn't me going around knocking on doors saying, hey, what do you guys think? Right? This is coming from a national survey, and we're really proud of the fact. And you'll be able to see that when you come and visit. It's really important. You know, we really have a modern, new, beautiful campus. And in times like this right now, when you want to go away to school or you want to check a place out, that can be important. You got to go and see it, though. You've got to come and visit. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But it's important to come and see where the students live. You can see on the screen right now, that's some upperclassmen housing sitting in a natural setting. We want you to see what it's like to be a student here. And we want you to be comfortable and successful while you're here. Also, I mentioned earlier, it involves the campus community. We're really lucky. We have over 200 RSOs, registered student organizations, in any given year. Those are student organizations across the board for you to get involved in. We know that a student who gets involved in an RSO their first semester is much more likely to retain and be successful. Knowing that, the university has turned around and said, okay, we need to support our students in any way possible to make them, to help them be successful. How do we do that? Well, we put time and energy and resources into our RSOs. RSOs are organizations, things you can think of it like Greek life, social fraternities and sororities. Maybe it's something in your major, the pre-health professionals club, the criminal justice club is really active on campus. Psych club is really active. Maybe it's something just silly and fun. Personally, I'm a little upset. We have both a pie club and a cake club on campus, and neither one of them asked me to be their advisor. I'll find them. Don't worry. Now, you may say, Nick, why would I care about a pie club or a cake club? Again, we know that if we can get you involved in one of these clubs or organizations that first semester, that first year, you have a much better chance of retaining and being successful overall. Why would that be? Well, think about it. If you're having fun, you don't want to leave, right? You want to continue that fun. You're going to continue to do everything possible to make sure that your college career can be successful. If you're going off and you're not having fun, you're not talking to anybody, you're not involved in any one of your passions, cake, right? Well, college is going to be boring. I don't care where you go. You have to find that RSO. So the fact that we have all of these RSOs, the fact that we have this beautiful new campus, the fact that we put a lot of time and energy and resources into you living on campus, all that combined makes us number one. And it makes you comfortable in a setting ready to be successful. Again, providing the support, and we'll celebrate that later. Speaking of providing that support, another big reason, the number 2 reason that students tell us that SVSU is the best fit for them is because the support for us ranges across the board. It's not just with advising, it's not just with your faculty, but it's across the board in things like me as an admissions rep. The alumni, our alumni are very engaged and are always willing to help mentor, help you with internships and look and provide that support for our students. Providing the support is a major focus of all of the offices here at SVSU. So if you need support in anything, all you have to do is ask. I always stop right here and I give a little lecture. I don't want to be too much on my soapbox, but I think it's important. I want you to know that the difference between high school and college a lot of times is just being willing to ask for the help that you need. Let me give you a best example, my best example. So I started at SVSU. I'm a very proud 2-time alum. I started at SVSU. In my first semester, I had a psychology class. And in the psychology class, the professor, very good professor, sat down and I went through the syllabus and I noticed that I had a term paper due about 6 weeks into the semester. I could pick the topic. He gave us a list of topics, but then one thing that I missed that I didn't pay attention to the last week was the fact that it needed to be in a format called APA. I had learned about MLA formatting in high school. I learned how to write a paper, but APA formatting sounded weird. I was fortunate. I caught it just in time, and I went to our writing center here on campus. On the second floor of our library is our Student Success Center. It has the writing lab, the math and science resource lab, all of the tutoring. All you need to do is walk in and get the help. It's already there waiting for you. I walked in, they helped me put the paper, they taught me how to do it in APA formatting, ended up having a great semester. So for you, I want you to remember that the difference between high school and college isn't necessarily the amount of things that are going on, but it's you being willing to reach out and take on the support. Things like the writing lab, the math lab, right? If you're struggling in that first math class, go. All you have to do is walk in. And here's the nice little secret that nobody tells you. It's already paid for. You don't have to pay extra at SVSU in order to do that. So take advantage of those things. That's one of the biggest reasons our students are going to be successful is because we have the support there ready. We're not going to do it for you. I'm not writing your paper. Sorry. To be honest, you probably wouldn't want that anyways. But we're going to be there to help you figure out how to do it correctly so that you can be as successful as you possibly can. All right. The number one reason, it's no secret, and students tell us over and all again, it's all about being the best value. I always use the term best value because I think there's an important distinction I want to make here. And that is, yes, we actually have the lowest cost of all the 15 public universities in the state of Michigan. We're going to talk about cost here in a second. But not only are we the lowest cost of that, we actually work the hardest on our financial aid side to help our students have the lowest debt tuition revenue. What that means is the lowest debt out there. Our students borrow less money in order to help cover their costs. So yes, our cost is low, but we're also working really hard on your financial aid to find you the best financial aid situation for you. So our students graduate with less debt than the other institutions in and around Michigan. And that's a big factor. When you take a look at it, the cost this year, we've frozen tuition with everything that's going on. We wanted to make sure our students knew that we had their back, and we wanted to continue to provide this. So for a full year of school, 28 credit hours, best in the state, it cost our students for tuition and fees about $10,035. It's a lot of money. I can't sugarcoat it. But when you compare it to the average of all the other Michigan universities being over $13,000 a year, you can see that that's going to add up pretty quick, and that we're doing a really good job in making sure that we provide a high quality education while still trying to keep the cost as low as we can. That equals the best value. When you look at it overall, tuition and fees about $10,035, room and board if you are going to live on campus. Now, we don't require our students to live on campus, but if they do, it's going to cost money for heating, energy, my favorite, food, right? It's going to cost a lot for all of those. So it's about $10,411 for the year. Books and supplies, we estimated at just over $1,000. There's a lot of money, a lot of ways that you can save money in doing that. So overall, for a full year of school, it's about $22,694 total. It's a lot of money. I can't sugarcoat it, right? But what I can tell you, what's really important is not everybody, in fact, hardly anybody, pays that full price. Nick, what do you mean by that? Well, what I mean is for you, I want you to go out to svsu.edu/cost quiz. I'll put it up here, okay, so that people can see it. I want you to go to that website because that'll actually, you can plug in your results, the things that you know about yourself, and we can figure out what it might cost you to attend SVSU. Every single one of you who are watching this, it's going to be something different, right? We have different GPAs, we have different EFC. You're going to learn all about EFC when it comes to financial aid time. Everybody is different. So we want to see what's the cost personal to you. And you can do that best at Cost Quiz. All right, let's talk about your steps. What do you got to do? Well, first and foremost, you got to apply. Before we go into all of these steps, I got to give you my number one reason, my number one best piece of advice. You got to remember that college is the opposite of kindergarten, right? You remember kindergarten? There's always the short little pushy kid used to run and cut in front of the milk line. Remember him? This is what he grows up to look like. It was me. I can remember back in kindergarten, my kindergarten teacher always used to tell me, Nick, it's okay. Just get in line. As long as you get in line, everything will be taken care of. Right? Forget it. Cut. Be first in line. It's always to your advantage. So as we're talking here and you're looking at this presentation, I want to make sure that you know that if you're a high school senior, now is the time to apply. Do it today. It's free. We don't charge you anything. The best time to apply is the summer between your junior and senior year. So if you're a high school junior, start prepping. No, apply in July. In July, a lot of these applications become available. The earlier you apply, the more likelihood it is to open more doors for you later. You can do all of it right at our website at svsu.edu, okay? But we just need you to go in and apply. It's free. Do it today. The next big step happens here in October. October 1st, FAFSA opens up. You're going to hear about FAFSA over and over and over and over again. The reason why? It's really important. The earlier you can do your FAFSA, you have to wait till after October 1st, but the earlier you can do your FAFSA, the better it is, because what happens with FAFSA is you fill it out, you get a report back, The main thing that all schools are looking for is called an EFC. I mentioned it a little earlier. EFC stands for the expected family contribution. That expected family contribution is how much money the federal government expects your family unit to spend on education for everybody that year. We use that EFC at all institutions, especially here at SVSU, and that's where we go out and we search for the financial aid that's going to fit you the best. When that happens, when you've completed your application and you've been admitted and you complete FAFSA, we match the two, and then we create an award letter for you to show you what financial aid we've found for you already. That award letter is a snapshot in time. We can always take things out of there that you don't want, or we can try to add things in and research more. But that award letter will show you what you can expect to pay for the year. So that's why it's so important to do that early, please. The next thing that you have to remember is that SVSU offers a lot of scholarships. We didn't even touch on the academic scholarships that we have, but we have a lot of private scholarships also. You'll be invited to apply for those after December 1st. All students who are admitted will be communicating with you to do that. And you have until about April 1st to complete that scholarship application. Those private scholarships are huge. We have a lot of private scholarships. People don't realize that SVSU has one of the largest foundations per capita for our students. So we give away a lot of private scholarship money. You got to do the work though. You got to complete that application. You can find it at svsu.edu/scholarships. But we have to do that once we've been admitted so that we can go out and then research to find if there are even more scholarship money that we can find for you. The last thing, when it's time, when you're ready to become a Cardinal, my favorite time of year, when it's time you say, yep, Nick, this makes sense. You have the program I want. I love the campus. I can't wait to start and get the help that I need to be successful, and then let's celebrate at the end. Well, then it's time to commit. And how do you commit to SVSU? Well, you do it by signing up for your SOAR, Student Orientation and Academic Registration. See what we did there, Cardinals? SOAR is our orientation program. And you let us know that you're going to become a student at SVSU by signing up and reserving your spot in SOAR. That begins after December 1st. So if you're admitted, you have your financial aid award letter, this makes sense. It's time. Let's sign up for orientation as soon as possible. Try to get one of those earlier days. The earlier the SOAR, the better. More class selection available. If you're a student that wants to stay on campus, again, we don't require it. Over 70% of our freshmen do, though. If you're a student who wants to stay on campus, that's also the time that you submit your housing application. That'll be available online as well after December 1st. You can find all of this information once you're admitted. It's all located at svsu.edu/next steps. We lay it out step by step on how to actually complete the process. And that's a really big help for our students. The last thing I want to say as far as next steps, if you're a student out there and you've never been to SVSU, these times are kind of crazy. We're being very safe, and we're going to talk about that here next. But we want you to come and visit. We want you to see the campus. Maybe it's just we want to connect with you. Instead of watching this presentation that I'm giving, let's sit down and talk, right? We can do that through the computer these days. I need you to go to svsu.edu/visit. And there you can see all of the different types of visits that we offer. We are offering some on-campus tours. Maybe it's a virtual Valley visit. Maybe it's a large virtual visit. Maybe it's just a one-on-one. You want to sit down with someone and speak specifically about your topics. We can offer all of those things. And I have to encourage you, that is the most important step to take. That's why it's here at the end. We want to connect and we want to be there to help, but we need to know that you're interested. And you let us know that by signing up to visit. The last thing I want to talk about here is the actual nest plan that we've had. We've been very, very fortunate at SVSU. We are the right size. We've gone through a lot of planning to keep our Cardinals safe. That's our plan. NEST stands for the New Expectations for a Safer Tomorrow. It's our plan to really help fight the COVID pandemic. We've been very fortunate so far. Our students are smart, they're doing the right things, and we're making sure that we provide all of the resources necessary to keep our students on campus. If you want any updates about what we're doing or what's currently happening, go to svsu.edu/nest plan, and you can actually get up to the date recent numbers. You can see all of the plans that we put in place. We're being very transparent to make sure that our families, our students, our families all know everything that we're providing in order to make sure that our Cardinals stay safe. You are our number one priority. That's huge. That's really important. That's something that I think a lot of people will say. Let us prove it to you. Visit, check out this Nest plan, and then compare those to other schools. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. You're going to see that SVSU takes care of its Cardinals. We want you to be successful. We want to have the party at the end too, just like you. Well, I think that wraps up our time. The last thing I want to say is thank you. Thank you for sticking with me through this whole presentation. I know it's not easy to sit and watch just someone present online, but I think it's something that as you begin and you get ready to go and go into college, I want you to remember that SVSU is that place that is going to provide you the opportunity, support you all the way through that opportunity, and then be there to celebrate with you at the end. Not a lot of places can claim all of that. They might do one or two of those well, but you are our priority. If you have any questions, if anything during this presentation didn't make sense, I'm going to encourage you, again, go to that visit page and sign up to meet with someone. I'll be there available. Sign up to meet with us individually, one-on-one, and we'd love to answer all of those for you. In the meantime, take care of yourselves and each other. Wash your hands, and we hope to see you very, very soon. Thank you so much.